Hello, welcome. This is blockchainbloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Pinke, and this is a special edition again. I'm here with KYRYLO KHOMIAKOV,
Yes.
who's actually the regional head of Central and Eastern Europe, Central Asia, Africa at Binance.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
All good, all good. Thank you. Enjoying the 24/7 conferences and meetings.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny actually that we both live in Hungary. We can say that you stay there,
Yeah.
but we always meet abroad. Last time we met in Georgia when we had a short interview.
Yeah.
Now we're here in Dubai, but this is how crypto life is.
Sometimes we will do it in Budapest too.
We're going to do it in Budapest as well. But just briefly, really, those who don't know you that well, your professional career, what was it before you joined Binance? How did you get in crypto?
Yeah, so my career was for more than 20 years before that time, but really I was in the three different sectors. First I was in the banking, then I was in the fintech, and then I was in the government and crypto too. So that's like a four dimension of what I was doing for this last 20 years before joining Binance.
Okay, and when did you discover crypto?
It was actually not that far ago. Before I joined Binance, I'm not like a crypto OG remembering like a good old days. I actually started doing crypto just 2 years before I joined Binance. But at that time, for the position that Binance was looking for the general manager, being able to talk to the regulators, and actually for Binance was more important the person that speaks the same language with the government, understand the fintech, banking, regulations, this type of stuff, rather than someone who is really deep into the crypto. So that's why they made this selection for me to arrange all these connections and relationships.
And meanwhile, of course, you were learning now, and now you really top of the crypto game as well, and also doing the things in
still catching up.
I think crypto is something which is developing just so fast. We all do.
Yeah, exactly.
you cannot, leave out a couple of weeks and then just totally new world when you re-enter it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, one of the reasons you here is in Dubai is the Binance Blockchain Week.
Yeah.
So Binance Blockchain Week is happening once or twice a year sometimes, is that correct?
Just once.
Just once, sorry.
Yeah.
I remember the last one I attended to was back in Paris. Since that, I believe you had others as well.
In Istanbul. The last one was in Turkey, in Istanbul. And here back in Dubai, because basically Dubai is the crypto hub of the world.
That's correct.
We have the offices where all the biggest global exchanges are located near. There is a regulation, there is all the projects, all the investors, all the community affiliates, bloggers, etc., etc. So this is really the biggest city for crypto in the world right now.
Okay, so what is Binance Blockchain Week all about?
So we are doing it once a year, and this is our major event. We have smaller events around the world. We do the conferences, we do the meetups, we do the dinners, all this type of the different stuff. But this is like a summit, like a pinnacle of our events team for the year. This is really big event. And it's getting bigger and bigger every year, and this year is obviously the biggest. So the scale, I'm promised, is going to be amazing.
I'm looking forward to it. Actually, when we're recording now this interview, just before it, so it's going to be happening a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of days, and we are having it in the Coca-Cola Arena here, which is most probably the best location for the big events. It's usually the red color outside, but for Binance Blockchain Week, it's going to be yellow.
Okay, so not make it too bearish.
Yeah, exactly. So even that's a good one. And I wish we had it green. But maybe a little bit later.
But doesn't match with Binance then.
A little bit later through the year. Yeah, and that's basically going to be 2 days. It's going to be all the keynote speakers, both Binance executive leadership team and the other leaders of the industry from the different space, from the stablecoin, from the games, from the ton, top games. So all these new interesting ideas and trends that's going to be reality in the nearest future. There's going to be ton of media, KOLs, affiliates, different other projects, investors. So it's one of the biggest crypto events globally. Similar level to Web Summit or Token.
So yes, it's basically crypto kind of in general, just sponsored or made by Binance, the conference itself. Binance focus, obviously.
Yeah, Binance focus because we have a lot of our team there. Binance is organizing. We have a big focus on the BNB chain and what new capabilities and the solutions and the trends our blockchain is offering. We have a lot of the projects that's already partnering with us in the different ways and formats, also being present.
Right, and as I mentioned already, that you living in Hungary, but of course you are responsible for Central Eastern and Europe. So how do you see the Hungarian market actually, now being there for a while and actually be responsible for the region?
Yeah. So in Hungary, it's a little bit more vibrant and more active than the other part of the Europe, the other parts of the Europe. Yeah,
Okay.
compared, for example, to the Western Europe. I feel that there is more talent in the Web3. There is more interest to the crypto. And it's more interest from the strategic investment, from the trading perspective, not that much from the gambling,
Okay.
like for the meme coins or some top games, etc. Because the quality of the life and the average monthly compensation is higher than in other places that I'm looking after, the CIS or Africa. So yeah, it's more like a long term. It's more like strategic, but it's also much more the penetration is higher than in Western Europe. So this is very good. This is actually the all Central and Eastern Europe.
Actually, it's good to hear it. So you believe that Hungary is really not behind. It's kind of in the game. So
yeah, definitely. Compared to the Western countries, as I said, there is more interest. There is more traders. There is more people coming to the meetups compared to the population of the country, of course.
okay, yeah, that's also important. And when you're looking at other Eastern European countries, so now you compare to the West, how that looks like. So the other regions, like even Romania and some others.
So Romania is an outlier. Romania is a little bit more active than everyone else in
Okay.
the
That's what I thought.
Central and Eastern Europe because the quality of life and the economy is a little bit slower than other countries. That's why the young population is a little bit more keen to find not just the investment opportunities but also saving opportunities, managing their assets, a little bit more open to the new, more risky products and solutions. Yeah, and then Czechia, Poland, Hungary, Baltics, Slovakia is a little bit on the same level.
I really have the feeling sometimes that those countries, which are not the Western countries, so sometimes even developing countries, they're more open-minded when it comes to crypto. And in many cases, it sounds to me that it's because of their situation. So they have not that much to lose because they have to come up with something. They're not that comfortable in their life. So they have to kind of work out of the comfort zone. And that's why they're more approaching these kind of opportunities, just like crypto. What do you think about this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I said. It's like, but it's just who to compare to Hungary, right?
Exactly.
If you compare the Ukraine, for example, the Ukrainian community is booming, right? Because the economy is very bad, local currency is bad, there is a lack of trust to the economy and the local currency. That's why the people are trying to exit local currency as soon as possible, and the only viable option is crypto, right? The same for the all post ex-USSR. Africa is absolutely the same. So economy is bad. So compared to these regions, Hungary is more like conservative to crypto.
Okay, so compared to them, we are a bit more
But if you compare to the places like Germany or Austria or I don't know, Netherlands, they are much more conservative than Hungary. So
I understand.
so it's always interesting to see, and it's actually from the quality of living, the devaluation of the local currency, the average compensation for the standard profession, what people are doing, it all drives the whole economy vector forward, like more or less crypto penetration and adoption.
And crypto kind of used to be this kind of wide west, and still is, definitely. But now we're entering more from the regulation side, because crypto started to grow that big that now even the governments and all these kind of lawmakers realize that they have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And which affect us, Europeans, is definitely the MiCA. So in your opinion, how MiCA affects the whole market?
So, first of all, you're absolutely right. We are at this stage, and it's been already a couple of years in this stage, when governments understand crypto is not just a seasonal trend. It will not go away. It will not can be removed. And also governments understood that if you don't regulate the crypto, you really put your users in danger sometimes.
Right.
So things that we saw with FTX or with Luna, right? That's dangerous for the users if it's just not regulated by anyone. So now regulators are finally understood that this is not going anywhere, but you need to regulate it in a way to not harm the users and protect them on the same time. And this is a very complicated task. That's why the Europe was preparing and rolling out MiCA for many years now. And now we are on the final stage that it started already working for the stablecoins from the 1st of June 2024. And from the 1st of January 2025, it starts for the exchanges and all the other altcoins. So I would say that the short term, it will not be good for the users, because there is going to be more and more limitations introduced in terms of what products will be available for the European users and what marketing will be available, what kind of engagement mechanisms and activities will be available for the users, what kind of information they will be able to consume, this type of stuff. But long term, definitely, it builds the basics for the Europe to become start playing a much more important role in the global landscape of the crypto projects than it is right now. Because within the couple of years, when all these other countries will be already implementing these regulations and will be already making their mistakes, in Europe, the crypto landscape will be formed already. So short-term negative, long-term positive. That's what I see.
Okay. And what has changed and what is going to change on Binance?
Yeah.
For example, for Hungarian users, we can talk generally European users, but I will just phrase the question like Hungarian.
It's the same. Yeah, there's going to be the same restrictions for all the EEA users, so European Economic Zone users. So they already introduced some limitations since the 1st of June. So
Can you mention the main ones?
yeah, so it was specifically around stablecoins. We haven't delisted stablecoins, but we cannot market non-licensed stablecoins. So USDT, that everyone is aware of, is afraid of going, is still available and will be available from after the 1st of January.
So it will be available.
It will be available, but we cannot promote it in any way. We cannot do any rewards in the USDT. We cannot promote any products that has the USDT as a part of it. So say, our deposit products earn, our trading pairs with USDT, our different rewards and points, airdrops, etc. that contains USDT. We cannot market it.
Okay, but then what you can do? So these are the things where USDT will not be available, but where it will be exactly then.
So what we can do is we can continue serving the spot pairs with
Okay, so
USDT.
spot pairs, and then we still have the trading pairs in spot?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna stay there.
And this is going to stay, right?
Okay.
So from the what will be really changed until the 1st of January? So all the exchanges who respect the MiCA regulations, because unfortunately we have a lot of the smaller exchanges who do not respect any regulations.
They just ignore it?
They just ignore it completely, and they just continue doing all their products, all their marketing, and this is very reckless approach, because they are just using this weakness of the regulation that doesn't have a one unified controlling and enforcement authority.
Okay.
So every member of the EU will have themselves to control and to punish or enforce the exchanges who are violating the MiCA terms. And that's why they're using this opportunity to continue recklessly promote everything, airdrop in USDT, and do all the marketing, etc., which we are not the case, right? That's why this short term our users are suffering a little bit without this marketing, let's say for the USDT, as you gave as an example. But long term, we want to protect the users, right? We don't want to get into the conflict with any of the regulator, right? We want to respect these rules from the very beginning, whether or not they can enforce us or not. So from the 1st of January until exchange, us or anyone else, will be granted a MiCA license, there is not going to be a marketing in local language. So exchanges who will not be, until any exchange will get the MiCA license, they will have to follow the reverse solicitation rules, which is basically means no local communications in local language, no local events, no local sponsorship partnerships, this type of stuff. But from the product perspective, I do not envision any immediate changes after the 1st of January.
Sorry, just to understand well, you cannot have then, for example, Binance on Hungarian language?
Yes, no, we can have
because
it
you
in Hungarian.
started to work on it already that make it, some things available.
Yeah, we just can't actively solicit Hungarian users until we have our own MiCA license. Then we can actively solicit Hungarian and all the other European users. So basically how it works, if you don't have a license, you have to go to the reverse solicitation mode. You can continue having these products, but you cannot target these users. You cannot invite them to buy your service. If these users find you somewhere in the internet and they want to join, they want to consume your products, that's no problem, but not actively. That's how the regulation works.
Okay, and how do you see when Binance will get the MiCA license?
We are working on this very proactively, and we hope that will happen in the very nearest future.
Right, okay, fair enough.
It's just, if it's not from the 1st of January, we will immediately respect the rules. And then, once it is ready, hopefully very, very soon, we will then continue promoting all the products in local language and do more product activities, or more local activities.
So it's really now in short term, it feels like a little step back?
Yeah.
But for the reason that you can continue and do everything well in the long-term future.
That's the regulation, right? Not all the countries are ready to this. There's just few countries in Europe that already introduced their internal processes, how to apply to MiCA. So I think it's very, very few exchanges will have the license from the 1st of January.
Yeah.
Unlikely anyone, to tell the truth, because no one is giving these licenses yet. That's why there's going to be a gap.
Sure. I mean, there are open questions which are not couldn't be answered at this stage right now, and without that, you cannot really have the license. So
it's not a questions, right? It's there is a framework, a European framework, and every country has to apply this framework to the local.
Oh, sorry, I meant how they move on. I mean, like you have the framework that's given,
Yeah.
But for the countries, how they gonna do it, when they gonna make it? I mean, when the question is like
Exactly.
this.
Who is the regulator? What's the
Exactly. So
application
that's
process? What's the list of documents? What's the violation? What's the penalty? Where is the registers? There is a
so
lot.
that takes time.
It's a lot of the sub laws and additional like local rules and regulations need to be applied to fully accommodate MiCA. Yeah.
Okay, we have talked about USDT, which is not available in many cases now in Binance. It's available on spot, as you mentioned. So that's
No, it's available. We just cannot talk about this.
okay. Because I was just asking that which stablecoin is already totally okay, and
It's just one now.
USDC.
Circle, yeah.
Okay, so that's the one.
They are the only stablecoin, as far as I know. Maybe there is others who received the official MiCA license for the stablecoin, as well as we have recently introduced another licensed stablecoin that's called YURI, Euro I ticker.
Okay.
And this is now booming in Europe. Like every European countries, they are much more willing to work in the European stablecoin rather than the dollar-backed stablecoin.
Well, makes sense in a way because it's Europe and Europe, so maybe because of this.
It was not that case before,
Okay.
but seems to be now with the limitation and the new regulation, there is more like interest to the euro stablecoin. So these are the two, that's only these two that are at this stage are licensed.
Okay, and now we are already in Q4. So, what kind of plans Binance has for the rest of the year, and maybe future goals for 2025?
You mean for Hungary or globally?
We can actually, I mean, we can talk about both. Would be important to talk about Hungary as well. That would be for the Hungarian users. But actually, globally, we can start a bit wider globally. The main directions.
Actually, let's start from Hungary, right?
Let's start
and then
from
we go
Hungary.
global. So the Q4 is the most busy period of the year for us and for the industry too, right? Summer is finished finally. New year is coming, so it's time to work, right?
Right.
So this couple of months is very active. There is a lot of the conferences, different new projects, different investments, interesting campaigns, a lot of marketing. So currently, until the end of the year, we can do everything in Hungary. And that's why we are trying to push as much as possible to give our users education, reactivate everyone who registered but didn't pass the KYC or pass the KYC but haven't started trading, promote our fiat channels because it's very easy now to buy euro with zero from the euro to buy currency, cryptocurrency, or withdraw euro or deposit euro or foreigns also withdraw and deposit. We have a very reliable and cheap channel, so we applied zero fees for our European users right now. So we encourage moving this funnel and educate everyone to actually try how it all works. And we push a lot of the interesting, we're preparing a lot of the interesting campaigns. Our local team is preparing campaign where you can guess the price of the Bitcoin to the specific date. And when you guess it well, you will get a very interesting and engaging prices.
We don't know the date yet. When?
I think it starts sometimes end of the next week or maximum second week of November. This prediction campaign is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, so you can test your crypto bullishness knowledge.
We need a crystal ball for that.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, so this type of stuff, and more or less the same globally. We just wanted to utilize this busy period to provide as much opportunities and products and rewards to our users to grow the results until the end of the year.
Okay. And what kind of trends you can see now happening on the market? Because every single bull market, it's a bit different. We're getting in the bull market bullish, but for different reasons. So what do you think it's nowadays?
So the two trends I saw this year, the strong trends, three, yeah. It's obviously the ETFs in US, approval of the ETFs. And this is currently the main and the only driver of the bull market that we see right now. And then we also saw the meme coins and we saw the top games. So these are the top key three things that happened this year. So ETF obviously is way important than anything else, right? Because it opens the doors for the traditional finance markets into the crypto. So hopefully this will be the main generator of the bull market of getting all these traditional markets buying cryptos through the ETFs or directly, doesn't matter. And that's how price goes up. The other things, I'm not that positive about it. So the meme coins, for me, is just a casino or a lottery, right? It doesn't really add too much value to the industry as the finance 2.0, right? As the freedom of money, as our mission of the company. It's more like to have fun until we're waiting for something that creates a real core value. Top games is a little bit on the edge of both, so it's fun, it's gamified, so it's a little bit of the GameFi that we saw before, and that's on Telegram, right? So I think this is going to be developed, but in the different vector, because if you just create the top game to pay users for their attention, but don't create any real value for them, no product core value, it creates the inorganical behavior of the users when they're just waiting for the points or airdrops and leave your application. So long term, it also doesn't create any value because retention is like super tiny. So that's more or less the street trends.
Okay, but what do you think about AI? Because AI is also something which has been mentioned recently and was kind of hot at some part of the year as well.
So AI is super big for crypto, super big, because I'll give you the example. There was a interesting experiment when there was a specially trained AI, and they told this AI, take $100,000 and earn 1 million on Amazon. And actually this AI, it can analyze the market trends, what people are buying. It can find the producers in China who can produce these goods. It can remotely contract with these producers. It can remotely arrange the logistics. It can put it into the remote warehouse. It can place it into the Amazon marketplace, and it can sell it to the users. So it actually can earn from 100K, 1 million K on Amazon, except of one thing. It cannot open a bank account. Because AI itself is not a substance that banks recognize as either individual or the company to open the bank account. So the theory of this is the only way how AI can be operational on its own is through the integration with the blockchain. Because AI can open the wallet and AI can transact on this wallet without a need to be a physical person or a company. So as soon as this integration happens, this is going to be the next big thing for the blockchain. But it's not yet. We are seeing huge market and a huge amount of investments going to AI. It's almost like if you're building AI, tell no more, just have as much money you need. That's actually what's happening sometimes. But it's not yet there for the integration between AI or the blockchains. I haven't seen any strong example of the value creation integration so far. But eventually, it's going to be the biggest positive thing that can happen to the blockchain.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in this.
I think blockchain itself, crypto has a bright future. We have our ups and downs, a lot of obstacles in the way, but it's always with new technologies. So I think that's normal.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see how it will eventually work out.
Okay. KYRYLO, thanks a lot for your time and for the interview. I wish you good luck and of course for Binance as well. And you're doing very well when we're looking at how many regions you have already. So yeah, keep doing your great job.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you on the Binance Blockchain
See ya.
Week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Guys, that was it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk to her in the future as well, as we had already an interview. This is another interview, and it's always nice to talk to you.
Thanks.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.